Maybe.
No,
I'm
God.
not drunk enough.
We don't need you singing.
Let's
We absolutely
go! Phoenix Rising head to
Max
El
is singing.
Paso with a 1-0 victory. Charlie Dennis grabbing penalty kick, hitting it into the corner, slotting it away. Phoenix Rising, right, playing the last 15, 20, really 25 minutes after the 10 minutes of extra time with up a man. Little bit of a kind of a jostle in the first half, not too much separating the teams, but they end up eking it out in the second half after, not too much separating them, end up getting the goal. Gentlemen, weird match to call. It really could have been anyone's. The red card certainly, without a doubt, was the difference. What do we make of what we just saw?
It was a game.
Yeah, it was.
It was a stereotypical playoff match, I think.
It
When
was.
you kind of imagine what a playoff game looks like, you're going to picture this game, the first 75 minutes, and really, honestly, the whole game, where cagey. It felt like the game really didn't leave the middle third of the pitch. Rising had the better of the chances, but that doesn't mean they had any good chances up until the penalty. El Paso certainly didn't create anything of their own, and ends with the penalty.
100%. 100%. Again,
Pretty much. It's
yeah.
I mean, I'll follow him up with that one.
Yeah.
I think when you look at the way that this game went, when you look at how Rising played, they shut out a lot of El Paso's attack. I think we noticed it quite a few times where it felt as though El Paso would play the long ball out wide. They were looking, they found their man. It was a good ball. And so many times this season, we've seen Phoenix Rising fail to follow those runners out in wide spaces or lose people at the far post. What you saw today was just, I think, again, Clara has been describing it as mature performances. You have seen, in those cases, people tracking those runners. You end up with two guys out there, not giving them a lot of options, really making it difficult for El Paso to find ways to get into this game. And that was the key, really, today. I mean, El Paso didn't come that close, in all honesty, to finding a goal tonight.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 100%. Again, it's the PHNX Rising podcast. First postgame in almost a year, to the day, folks.
Yeah.
To the day, of course, as you know, me, Owen, Rees, you boys breaking this down.
Not order, but hey.
Yeah, you're not right. I mean, listen, I agree. By the way, shout out real quick, everyone in the chat. Deborah, Albert, Kevin, everyone there. Appreciate you guys keeping them comments in, right? Hit that like button. It's one of those, I very much agree. I think there's a couple of things, right? It was a more disciplined performance. I think really neither team, I think overwhelmingly with the chances, you can very much argue before the penalty, best chance of the game probably was Phoenix Rising with that Charlie Dennis free kick, lunging save by the keeper to keep it out. But really, as this game continued to evolve, I feel it really was, right, Rising. You see a couple balls that El Paso plays through, a couple last-ditch kind of clearances or trying to stab the leg out in order to prevent some of those through balls in. Phoenix Rising, there was a couple shaky moments, but when it came down to it, really left Petrikovsky pretty untested for most of the match.
Pretty much.
I mean, I'd say the shaky moments weren't in the 18-yard box. They were
Correct.
about 30 yards away from goal, where they'd play a ball to either a winger or Wilmer Cabrera Jr. at that 9 spot. And Rising did such a good job tonight in their recovery defending. Potmar Boy, Rafa, Asenge, Carl Saint, didn't matter who it was out of that group. They did a good job making sure once that pass was played that there wasn't a second ball to be played afterwards.
Absolutely.
I think as well, look, we have seen a change in recent weeks, right? Rising is definitely playing a more safety-first style of football. Not in that they're trying to be boring or anything like that. The way they are setting up leaves more men back in a way that is better when you are trying to, not leak goals like we have seen them do at times in this year. It's working. We've seen it work in a few games in a row now. Pretty much ever since they moved to this back five, they're not giving up goals.
Yeah,
and that's critical at this time of year. We always say it's kind of the cliche, right?
It's true though.
Defense that wins you titles.
Yeah.
It's true.
It's defense that wins you titles. And yeah, it's people are really having fun out there.
El Paso.
I don't know if you guys can hear it. Well, not in El Paso, but it is defense that wins you titles, and they're becoming stingier, harder to break down. I felt as though last week maybe there was a little bit of luck in the way that Rising didn't concede a goal. Pittsburgh had chances. Rising gave away chances. Pittsburgh didn't take those chances. But this game, the main thing was I just didn't feel like El Paso created chances when they could have. Rising had players there. They found ways to snuff out the attack.
Yep.
And what a game in that sense.
Yeah, it was a we say this right. You hear this phrase. It was a very professional performance. I think Rees said it very well. A lot of the danger, it wasn't really anything within the 18-yard box. It was that 30 yards off. Phoenix Rising, there was a little bit of chaos that was going around in front of them, but they kept everything in front of them. They didn't let anything in behind, right? Whether El Paso's trying to play those through balls, they're able to snuff them out. Anything in the corner, Phoenix Rising was able to just pick up the numbers. It was very much for all of the, it was a bit of a, to use another cliche, right? It was a bend but don't break defense, right? Like they were able to play back. They were able to do what they needed to, and they generated enough of a push moving forward to at least keep them honest. Very much still a lot of work needed to be done. And again, it's going to be touch and go if you're going to have more playoff matches like this where you're not generating a bunch of attack. But to Phoenix Rising's credit, neither did El Paso.
I feel like I got to get in on the cliche game that you two are playing.
Please take another.
It's not about performances at this stage of the season. It's about results, as the PA says.
Yeah, the PA
gibberish.
He's trying to take us out, but it ain't gonna happen.
It's not about how pretty it looks. It's about getting the job done, and ultimately that's what Rising did. And now they're going to Tulsa next week.
Let's go. Oh, I gotta love it.
6-7. Am I right, Rees?
You gotta love it.
Max killed it.
Oh, I did. I'm happy to. Again, Ryballs, Kevin
man.
in the chat, everyone against you know us. We're squinting because it's post game seeing everything.
And Max is
Keep
old.
those comments coming, right? Okay, I'm a perfectly fair and normal age. Okay, all right. Well, we got a lot more to talk about. I want to
on the other side.
Let's bring in some partners real quick.
Yeah.
Other side of the break. Catch you in a second. All right. Well, first, shout out our friends over at Circle K. You already know how many times we stopped at Circle K's on the way. It was a lot. We got this. We got some chips. Got some drinks. Got a little bit of everything. You got some gum that you shared with me.
Yeah.
You shared one of your sour straws, which is nice. You shared some brand redacted candy. I shared some chips, brand redacted, but they were all from Circle K. So shout out there. We're Lordsburg with a solid Circle K.
A lot of beautiful
Absolutely. It was.
It was the highlight of the town.
What?
The
cashier at Circle K, absolutely lovely at Lordsburg. And Rees, when you asked her, hey, do you live in Lordsburg? What'd she say?
If you could call it living.
Yeah, but you know what? She's living for her friends over at
Bless
Circle
her.
K. It was a great time.
Man.
Shout out the road trip.
I can't believe we're saying that on the
Yeah, we are.
during an ad read, man.
Circle
Yeah,
K,
that's
they love
mental.
because you know why? Because Circle K is amazing. And nothing wrong against Circle K. You know, Lordsburg, that's a place, but Circle K makes that place so much better. Check out our friends at Circle K. Download that Inner Circle app. Download the Circle K app, opt into the Inner Circle program for free. All you need is a phone number. Terms and conditions do apply at participating locations. Also, shout out friends at Access Auto. For more than 15 years, Access Insurance Agency of Arizona has provided affordable and reliable car insurance to drivers in the Phoenix metro area. As a dedicated part of the local community, Access Auto helps Arizona drivers get insured by offering flexible coverage options and accepting various forms of ID, driving histories, and license types. By partnering with over 20 insurance carriers that make it easy for you to compare rates and find the best policies for your budget with bilingual Spanish-speaking agents and non-convenience location across the valley. Access agents are ready to assist customers in finding the right coverage for their budgets and identifying available discounts, both cash and card. Payments are acceptable for added convenience. Access Auto, trusted by the community, rooted in Phoenix, and ready to help. All statements are subject to the terms, exclusion, and conditions that applicable policy. In all instances, the current policy contract language prevails. Coverage is subject to individual policyholders meeting underwriting qualifications, state availability, terms, conditions, and exclusions may apply.
Breathe.
Woo! We can all breathe.
Vroom, vroom.
We can all
Vroom,
breathe.
vroom.
Back. The roads are crazy. Shout out friends at Access Auto, making it safe because there's some crazy drivers on the way out of here to El Paso. We appreciate it. We're here.
There were.
That one guy who was just
He couldn't pick a lane.
he couldn't pick a lane.
Couldn't
He
pick a lane.
was in both lanes, and then he was in half over the median, and then I don't know. The guy couldn't.
Phoenix
make up his
Rising,
mind.
they picked their lane. They stayed in it, drove it all the way to victory. Right? There's a lot that we can.
Can I hop in here, right? Because here's the thing. We're gonna. No, he's still in your mic now because we don't need to hear Max's voice anymore there. But
Thanks.
look, here's the thing. When we talk about, I think, look, El Paso's attack was weak. Rising's defense was good. I think they dealt with that weak attack very, very well. But we also need to talk about the other end of the field because I think Rising, at the end of the game, when it becomes very much more open, right, they've taken a lead anyway. I think maybe they have a chance of adding one or two more. They had a couple of chances before that. Charlie Dennis's free kick, really good effort, good save, can't knock the save at all. I mean, he can't nail the shot at all either. But but at the end of the day, it didn't feel as though Rising necessarily, I think, save for a penalty, I don't know if Rising scores in 90 minutes. I really don't know if they score in 90 minutes. I think it took the penalty. Look, Parr admitted after the game, we're chatting with Parr after the game, unfortunately we don't have any clips ready for you now, but they will go up on social media later, that ultimately they didn't necessarily create enough in the first half. He wanted to change things. They did make some changes in the second half. The red card was kind of a defining moment in a lot of ways. He wished that they'd taken hold of that game a little bit more after the red card, that they put El Paso under pressure after the red card a little bit more, because they just didn't quite do enough, I think, to take advantage of that man advantage until the penalty comes along in the end.
I don't think it's that they didn't quite do enough. I think it's that they didn't do anything for that about 10-minute stretch. El Paso, honestly, I mean, Max and I were saying they looked a little bit better for the first few minutes.
You do have to remember, after the red card, I think El Paso had a different urgency, right? They kind of know, we're down to 10 men. Can you deal with the extra half an hour? Or do you want to go out there and try and get a result within the 90 minutes?
Yeah.
Because I think if that game went to extra time, I think El Paso's in a bad place in a lot of ways. I don't think that El Paso necessarily has the manpower to go for that extra 30 with Rising, knowing that Rising still had quite a few subs that they could use.
Don't disagree. I mean, I think I'm curious how you guys feel. I guess we'll never know because, didn't happen. Red card, PK, and boom, Rising's up 1-0. If that red card doesn't happen, it seems like we're going to extra time. Without a doubt.
I think we might go to penalties. I don't know if this game ends.
There was not a goal in
real
there.
time.
It didn't seem like it.
No.
Man, I love it. I'm actually gonna sneak. You get a close up of the moneymaker. Let's read some chats. Right. Benedetto's Bluebird El Paso's attack was this week.
It was pretty weak, to be fair.
Mike,
we've changed the mic sound.
We love it.
Hopefully we're back.
Kevo the Tales from El Paso. Albert in the chat. We need Rising to end the Arizona sports recession. Absolutely. Right Bell's in the chat. Flood was quite good tonight.
Yeah.
Right. On that note, I do want to shout out, right? Any other couple players, right? There were definitely guys who played a big role. Anyone who came to mind in terms of this was the difference maker, having Rising eke out with a 1-0 win.
I still think Eric Mosu is a huge part of this approach that Rising are taking right now. I was very worried at halftime when I saw him hobbling a little bit, and then he's hobbling and goes down a couple of times after the halftime whistle, like within minutes of the second half kicking off, and you're just worried. He does end up playing through that. I mean, I think he's a really, really critical part of this shape. You just got to hope that nothing bad happens, and it looked like a few times I was nervous looking at that.
Absolutely. I mean, I agree with it on both sides of that argument there. I mean, it looked like he went down 3 separate times in the game by my count. One in the first half.
We're not talking the last 2-3 minutes when you're up. It was killing time.
And then did he end up finishing the game, or did he come off and stop a shot for Okello?
Okello came on.
Yeah. I thought he finished the match.
Which
pull it up on your phone, Max. You got it there.
If you had told us at halftime that Morsu would end up finishing the match, I think we would have laughed at you.
I think when he came on in the second half, went down a couple of times.
Yeah,
we were chatting up here where it's like, oh, why didn't they just take him off at the break? Waste the window.
Okay. Oh yeah,
Charlie was waving to the crowd as he went off. Yeah. We'll talk about that one in a minute, but actually, you know what? I mean, I will talk about it now. We're talking about other players. Charlie Dennis. I mean, for a starter, his penalty, that's a critical moment. Realistically, if you put that in the back of the net, you're in a very good position in terms of trying to avoid a collapse.
Well, Rising's done that before this year.
They have.
Not once, not twice.
Very true.
Quite a few more times.
But I still don't think El Paso are offering enough to really worry you about that one. The other part to that, I mean, look, he steps up for the penalty. It's a tough one in that moment. Yeah. He puts it away really coolly. He said after the game, he knew that he knew where he wanted to put it. Obviously, it was between him and Remy as who's going to take it. He stepped up and he was confident. He knew his spot and just put it there. The other thing for me is as he's walking off after being subbed off, and the crowd are giving him some stick because obviously he walks off by the touchline over here. Yeah. Clapping the Rising fans, acknowledging the Rising fans. Home crowd are giving him some stick as he's walking off. You just see him playing along with it, waving goodbye to them, doing this.
That's what the playoffs is all about.
It is, but can I say this? Shades of 2023 Panos Amanakis in San Diego. That's what that felt like. Because that's what he was. He was G'ing the crowd up a lot on that one.
really reveling in the abuse he's getting.
I mean, I think the interesting thing about Charlie is not just the penalty kick, right, which is again like that is the difference in this match. Rising didn't have a ton moving forward, but you felt that when they did, it really was him going through it. It was, I think,
it's kind of him and Hope Ave.
It was a lot of the calmness on the ball. I think it was even a way even slowing the game down. It was bits and pieces again for all the talk about Phoenix Rising's defense not quite breaking. El Paso's for the most part, again, until the red card and everything kind of combusted, pretty much the same as well. But if they were going to get a goal, which we'll never know if they were going to get one not off of PK, it felt it was going to be Charlie Dennis, and to your point, maybe Hope off of Diego.
I feel like that's kind of a result of the front three being what the front three is, but also both Ryan Flood and Axel Senge being your two wing backs, with Colin Smith and Daniel Flores being in the being your two wing backs. It's a lot more dynamic in the way that you'd move forward. With those two, as good as they are in bits and moments, they're not they're not Daniel Flores and Colin Smith at the end of the day.
That's the question. Now, are they going to be back?
That's true. We'll have to see. We got some more to talk about this game on the side of the break. Shout out friends over at Branded Bills. Branded Bills, make sure you look a little good, look really good, look a lot of good, like we do. But we could look a lot better if we didn't have if we had some Branded Bills on. Go to brandedbills.com. Use promo code BBPHNX for 15% off that order. What you looking at? You look good in Branded Bills hat right now. I'm just saying. Little shirt, little tie, little pullover. Branded Bills hat helps us.
You got some mustard on your shirt, Reese, by the way.
Branded Bills can help solve that too. Again, listen, they have all the hats. They have all the hats. ASU,
like
Dub,
line.
U of A, Dub. I see you, Kev, behind the brand redacted computer. You're doing your thing. They got Suns hats. They got hats from all of the colleges. So many colleges throughout the country. They are literally doing a shirt check. They're trying to do a fit check live on PHNX Rising postgame. But they need the fit check with our friends over at Branded Bills. That's what we need. Shout out our friends Branded Bills again one more time. BrandedBills.com, promo code BBPHNX for 15% off that order. Do it today.
Who you texting, Reese?
And make it good. Also, shout out our friends at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Again, you watch Rising game there. You can, there's some people there watching the sad World Series ending, and we're not going to talk about it. What an absolute travesty. Again, that is the sports world to give it the take. It's Phoenix Rising win, and then the bad team has to win, right? Again, but we do want to talk about Gila River Resorts and Casinos. That is not, they are, woo, they're much better than that.
Yeah, Max was like drooling at the window as we drove past.
I was. It was honestly the best and worst 10 seconds of my life when we're passing by Gila River Resorts Casinos Wild Horse Pass. I'm like, oh, that's my friends. And then it's like, oh wait, no, now we're leaving them and we have to go to El Paso. But hey, it's what we got to do. They have the 4 VAL locations.
Max is kind of like a toddler. He only really pictures what's right in front of him.
Yeah. Object permanence, I believe that's the term. Got you. Boom. Psychology, sociology. Hey, what can I say? Anyway, Gila Resorts Casinos, you do you. Visit playatgila.com for more info. Again, be on the lookout for Cardinals watch parties, Suns watch parties throughout the remainder of those seasons. We are back. PHNX Rising postgame show. We got to talk about it. We talked about it a little bit. We were talking about very much in real time. Red card, good call, bad call, soft. You had opinions on it.
I still need to see more angles to see quite the extent of the contact. I still think he's silly. He's silly. There's no need to. It's a bad decision to be clear from.
Yes, the player.
Exactly. There's just no need in that moment. Why are you doing that? Why are you retaliating? It's a playoff game. I know emotions run high. Why are you even doing anything that's going to raise the question? From the referee. Now, again, they showed a few angles here in this building that made it look like contact was a little bit dubious, but still, just gotta be smarter in those moments. You have to be smarter in those moments.
I mean, he already shoves him. After the whistle's blown. He probably gets a yellow for that, just because
potentially,
very well could. And then he just goes out and has a kick. Not who knows how much he really got him, but it's stupid at the end of the day. It's stupid.
I feel the tough part of this is right. And you got to separate the facts of the moment and calling a situation as it is, while also being very upfront with this is a playoff atmosphere. And what we have seen in most instances, and even again, got to call a game as it is, refs want to let the game play. They are going to call those.
There weren't many cards today.
That's what I'm saying.
Really.
And which you can make an argument. There very much could have been more. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
In that moment, knowing that you want the boys to play, if you have to give a referee a decision, whether how little or much contact you make, even when you have the foul, the shove, and then the kick through to follow it up, I don't care how much contact it is. It's just, I don't know what other thing you can give. We argue about the intent,
I know, yeah.
but it's a tough decision to give a referee who, to that point, was really letting the boys play.
It's just silly. There's no need to. You just got to be smarter than that. That's the end of it, to be frank. You just need to be smarter than that. And that's largely, I think, played a role in this game. I think it hampered them when it came time. Even if you say Rising take the lead, if it's 11 against 11, it's a different game after that.
It was.
Than it is with the 10 out there. It's just completely different.
It was.
And
It was.
It was crazy. It's
yeah.
This match. It's
Cut Max off.
Oh,
Why are we cutting Max off?
You did it like 4 times there.
Well, I could
Wait.
keep doing it.
but like, you want if I keep talking?
No, I'm not. We're not
I
letting you
see.
keep talking, Max.
Okay,
Right.
for sure. Tough.
Any other thoughts on the match? Reese, take his mic. Come on. That was quite aggressive.
was
Yeah,
aggressive.
give me the mic.
Any
No,
thoughts?
I
Any
ripped it out of your hands.
Any thoughts there, Reese?
I mean, I think we have to go back to kind of just the playoff nature of this game. It felt like a team that was connected, kind of like that 2023 group. I feel like the post-game celebrations that we saw kind of showed that in a way. I'm not saying this team's going to go on a run to win the final, and if they do, Max is getting a tattoo. You heard it here first. Max is getting a tattoo if Rising wins the final this year.
Rumor has it he's actually just going to get the Circle K logo on his back.
Oh, absolutely. But again, I think, so much of sports is momentum. And I feel when you win a game with a goal in the 85th minute or whatever it was on the road, that's momentum. Just like, again, what Rising did in 2023. They went on the road, knocked out San Diego Loyal. Momentum obviously sparked that run.
And it's momentum that's going to get Max Simpson a Circle K logo tattoo.
No, he should get a portrait of the Circle K in Lordsburg.
Max,
Just
are
like
you
a
going
full
to get, give me a full sentence, will you get a Circle K logo tattoo?
No.
No,
Yes.
Will you?
No.
Yes.
Wait, I know you're trying to clip it. I know this game. Stop it. No. Okay. All right.
Yes.
All right. No.
Yes.
Okay. No.
Yes.
Okay. No.
Boys, stop fighting over
No.
the mic.
No. Deborah in chat, right? She said it, and you're bringing it up, Reese, right? We want to see another championship, right? We're repping. Rise to the top. Champions 2023 shirt. I mean, listen, it does have similar feelings, especially, right? You go on the road, grab a win. You know you're going on the road again next week. A lot of differences, and this is by no means as much as a prolific attacking team at all. This team very much star for goals again, right? Even look at the difference in the opening matches. 1 goal combined with, 1 less men. It was from the spot, this one. 7 combined goals, granted, in 120 minutes in the opening match against San Diego Loyal in 2023.
Well, also going into this game, these two teams played. Rising and El Paso played 3 times this year. And how many goals did they have in those 3 games?
Way too many.
18, 9 for each team.
Indeed. And then we have 1 goal tonight.
Not from open play either.
Yeah.
The beauty of the sport.
It is the beauty of the sport. I mean,
beautiful
look, it just feels like it was the polar opposite of the way this game has gone all year long, didn't it? It was so cagey. It was just...
Gotta love it. Well, we got a little bit more to talk to. We'll do it right back on the other side of our final break. All right. Got to shout out our friends over at Rally House. Rally House, they got 3 locations throughout the valley, right? We're in El Paso, Texas. I know they got a lot of locations in Texas. They got rallyhouse.com, so I can order Rally House. Max buying Rally House. You can do what you want. You wait, no.
Buying Rally House.
Nah, you can buy Rally.
That's slightly disturbing.
You can buy Rally House merch. All the great stuff. Again, they got some Sicko Rising stuff. They got Sicko stuff for Suns, Cardinals, D-backs, ASU, U of A, Phoenix Mercury, all the teams that you're supporting, right? Go in person to the 3 Valley locations or go online. And we're not just talking jerseys, shirts, all that stuff, which they do have, but we're talking pint glasses, we're talking socks, we're talking different accessories, talking all the different things. Rep your fandom with our friends over at Rally House. It is without a doubt the best sporting goods store for diehard Arizona sports fans, which I know you in the chat are. Again, go to rallyhouse.com or check out the 3 Valley locations. Do it today. We'll do it. I mean, do it tonight and do it today and tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day. Also, shout out our friends at Shady Rays. You're talking about going online doing things? Go to shadyrays.com. Use promo code PHNX 15% for 35% off that order.
You get the number right eventually, Max.
Yeah, Well, did you know, by the way, that they're rated 5 stars or better by over 300,000 people? What's that?
Well, you count to 6.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, no.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even see that one. I didn't even see that one. That's actually pretty good. But you know what's even better than that is Shady Rays, right? I'm rocking my Shady Rays on here. Even dropped a couple times because it's a road trip. Happens. Get out of the car to go to Circle K. There you go. And you know what? The Shady Rays are so darn durable. It doesn't even matter. But even if they did break, even if something happened, they have their lost and broken replacement program. It's that darn easy. Again, one more time for the people at home, because no one else is here. ShadyRays.com. Oh, bless you. Promo code PHNX for 35% off your order. Look good. Do it today. I think they're to turn the lights off here. So, gentlemen, final thoughts.
Let's just talk quickly. Tulsa obviously win after extra time. That game was 0-0. They scored very, very quickly after they came back from the interval at the end of 90 minutes. So it's Tulsa. It's Tulsa away. Rising will be going away to the 1 seed. That is a team that Rising lost to at the beginning of the season, drew, and then obviously won a penalty shootout against in the Open Cup. It was a very fierce match. The home opener, was a 1-0 loss to FC Tulsa, a completely different team right now. And then drew away from home in a game that Tulsa had a lot of opportunities later in the season. This is going to be an interesting one. Again, it's kind of the nature of it. You kind of were following the results as they were going along tonight. And as soon as it went to extra time, you almost thought, ooh, is there maybe a chance that the Colorado Springs can pull something off, that Rising could have a chance to host even? You're putting some weird faces at the chat right now.
That's just what Max does.
Abolish daylight savings time, yeah.
I agree. No, I've got something to say, Max.
We're getting an extra hour's sleep tonight. I'm not going to complain.
That's fair.
You were wondering, can Colorado Springs maybe pull something off? As soon as that goal went in, it kind of felt like, They got 1 or 2 chances late in the game, but it wasn't enough. So Tulsa, obviously we're going to preview that on Wednesday night when we're back at 6 o'clock. But, oof, I think it's a long, rough trip. Yeah, it's a bit of a rough trip. I don't like the...
Yes. Couple in the chat real quick before we get out of here. Albert, this diehard is having a hard time keeping his eyes open. Appreciate you being a diehard, Albert, as you've been long time. Shout out to you. Diehard's got some exclusive footage from the scenes going on at full time. Everyone in here as well. James Wilson, where can we meet you? At the Brand Redacted Hotel where we're all staying. There you go. What a match. Deborah, Ryballs, Dennis Lubert, everyone.
We'll let you know.
Everyone has been awesome. Guys, any final thoughts? Again, we'll be back on Wednesday. Tulsa the following week. What a week.
Please, whatever you do when you sign off, just make sure my eardrums remain intact, Max.
I can't promise that.
I can't promise that. Right.
Appreciate everyone joining us here on the PHNX Rising postgame. Again, guys, first time in a year. Thank you so much for joining us. Back on Wednesday, next week as well. Of course, you can follow the show at PHNX__rising, double the
times Reese is about a cough.
Double the road playoff games this year.
Apparently. Double the road playoff games
last year,
for now. You can follow me on Twitter at Max David Simpson. Follow Owen on Twitter at OJ Evans 18. Follow Reese on Twitter at Reese11_. Follow Kevin on Twitter at Kevo Post. Again, back.
Turn his mic down in a minute.
You're smart, man. Again, join us on Wednesday. Usual show. We are doing again post game after Tulsa's match. Win, lose, no matter what happens, it's gonna happen. Or draw. But until then,
draw
it's a beautiful game. But it's way more beautiful.
I'm turning your mic down.
When Phoenix Rising advance. Good night.
We all silly like the mayor.